John.
Right.
What a time. But already a fifth place confirmed, or fourth place confirmed, I'm sorry, at Afterburner 2025 for at least one of these players. But 33rd at Genesis X and 9th at Riptide and a 9th at SmashCon. I'm really liking seeing ApolloKage's return to form. There was a bit of a lull there where ApolloKage was not reaching the same highs that we had seen previously from the Snake. But this tournament already showing outplacing the seed and sitting here on the big stage on Sunday.
And ApolloKage really is one of those guys that you like to succeed. You know, if you like Smash Ultimate, you like the way he talks about the game. He always comes through with a different type of positivity, and you love to see things like that persevere. He's had a few close sets today, losing 2-3 to Sonics, of course, but taking sets off of Suspect and a big one off of Anand, who has quite a bit of experience in the Steve matchup, but ApolloKage has really been able to make it work against them pretty consistently.
And of course, sitting across is MuteAce. Everybody remembers that Genesis 9 run. But since then, it has been really, really good showings. Obviously, 2nd at Cirque, 5th at Collision, 7th at Port Priority, Supernova, a super stacked event too, but definitely not up to the normal MuteAce standards, which I think we are starting to see once again here.
Yeah, we definitely are starting to see MuteAce kind of return to form, and blemishes like that on the resume are hard not to have in a game like
So
Ultimate.
many tournaments, so many characters, so many variables to think about.
Very many variables in just this bracket alone. Losing a quick 0-3 against Zamba, but again, as you mentioned earlier, taking some hot sets over Geist, over Wolfie. These are all phenomenal players.
Yeah.
This is one of the most consistent bracket runs I've seen today over Icona, Wolfie, Rocky, Suspect, Zamba, Geist. Not a single player that isn't ranked somewhere.
And we've seen some matchups before, most recently in Texas at Semi Offline. 3-2 in that way, and then the pre-local for Genesis, Port Priority. It has been many a venue these players have played against each other, just adding another one to the list here.
Yeah, I don't know how closely you looked at those numbers, but there's not a single bad set between the two of them.
Right.
There's 2-3 runs, and the rest are all game 5s. So I'm hoping to see another one of those here, right now, as these two get into game 1. Loser semifinals, ApolloKage versus MuteAce.
Ooh, already going off, trying to punish heavily off ApolloKage, going off stage there with the falling forward air at drop zone. But still, this is going all MuteAce's favor here too until ApolloKage starts laying the nair down.
Not an issue. He's going to have that fadeaway forward air for ApolloKage. And aggressive passive option right there as he throws out some grenades from this corner, tries to keep MuteAce at bay, really make him think twice about approaching, and it's all going to be about MuteAce mixing up that timing and trying to find the perfect spot to get in and get a massive punish, as he's had no issues going off stage to try and pressure ApolloKage so far.
MuteAce trying to give him issues though, that's the thing. MuteAce has gone off either time ApolloKage has voluntarily gone off of stage. But when on stage, though, it is scary. MuteAce is just spending so much time hopping between these two platforms, does not want to play the grenade game that ApolloKage is offering.
Yeah, MuteAce so far playing a very vertical game, waiting for ApolloKage to approach laterally, and that forward smash is going to be misguided. ApolloKage has no problem ripping a forward smash. Very exciting player to watch when those start landing time to time. MuteAce, Tomahawk grab doesn't work out for him, and ApolloKage gifted with the grab, back throw C4, gets it done, starting at 56%.
And MuteAce in disbelief in the player cam, like what is going on?
Yeah, in disbelief like many of us were.
Yeah.
Jaws hit the floor everywhere. Yes. ApolloKage is still keeping MuteAce at bay here.
C4 just seems to be living on these two platforms, though, just taking away one of these options MuteAce seems to love to reside at.
Yeah, MuteAce so far doesn't really mind moving around that C4. I imagine he's pretty confident in his ability to react to it once it does happen, because we've seen him just run over C4 quite a few times. Right there, perfect example. Like, he's just on the ground, he's ready for it.
That was really good, though, too. Down smash, able to take the stock, but ApolloKage had a small window to get out there. Shielding in the corner, and MuteAce went up for the grab thinking he was free. The grenade falling back down gave a small glimmer of hope, but MuteAce able to shut that door quickly.
Yeah, MuteAce very narrowly whiffed a couple of grabs already. Once those start connecting with the level of consistency I would expect to see, things can get really dangerous as a few hits connect in a row, and there's one of those grabs I was talking about. Down throw back air, making things scary here. 100% for ApolloKage. MuteAce eats a grenade. He's still hungry. Pushing forward, gets a lot more damage on him. Wait a minute, drag down nair one into a nair, or fair up air one rather, as MuteAce continues to push this pressure. ApolloKage moves forward, and Mute's just going to stand on that platform and wait for ApolloKage to miscue. He has that lead. The onus is now onto ApolloKage to find an approach, find an opening.
Yeah, it seems since that back throw into C4, it has been regularly scheduled programming of MuteAce playing the denial game for all of this area. Turnips have been such a good option. Then just getting out when we can't. Hey, it can be turnips, it can be grenades. I can make these float combos work with anything.
Right, whatever it is. Give me an item and I'm going to make something nasty happen with it. And now ApolloKage trying to approach anything he can find, but MuteAce has just been playing so consistent. And again, as I say, ApolloKage is able to find a great 1-2. MuteAce has just been slightly avoiding all these things, but at the worst time, he gets hit by one thing, and ApolloKage has been capitalizing perfectly.
Yeah, it's crazy. It feels like the gameplay is going, like, 95% of the time in MuteAce's favor, but once ApolloKage is able to rip that momentum back, it is in the biggest way possible.
Right, it's like that one opening is all it takes to kind of match the productivity that MuteAce was able to do over a long period of time. And yeah, ApolloKage has no problem doing 30% to himself if it means he can get back on stage.
Right.
Which in that case, he was not able to.
Really good coverage, though, too, from the float cancel up air, going up for the full hop, not able to find a further conversion. You see forward air out of that sometimes.
Good awareness there for ApolloKage to keep MuteAce off stage. Not get caught by any of those reversals, and now just waiting on that platform a little bit. MuteAce, again, having no problem with playing vertically, as long as he doesn't get hit by that one thing per stock that just obliterates the stock.
Turnip in hand here, playing that aerial game as you were talking about, Finesse.
And killing early has been the name of the game so far, as ApolloKage has survived really late on both stocks so far. So if MuteAce is able to clean this up in the corner, could be in a really comfortable position, but ApolloKage, all he has to do is get 1 or 2 more interactions, and they're both equally at risk of losing their stock.
Ooh, great down toss and grenade going to help out a lot. I thought Parasol might have come out there, but staying consistent here too. Death by 1,000 cuts is how MuteAce wants to take this one. Dot eye, oh, the profile change there to Hurtbox shifting away from that turnip.
So many near misses here for MuteAce, as ApolloKage narrowly able to survive. I thought that was it for sure, and it was going to be it. MuteAce cleans another one up with the up air, and after 2 very explosive stocks like that, MuteAce has got to feel pretty good to be able to take that like a low 1 stock kind of scenario.
No, it's the kind of thing where if you can eliminate those 2 errors that came about that ApolloKage took stocks off of, you played an extremely clean game.
Yeah, and with 2 massive momentum swings like that, MuteAce has to feel that feels like a 2-stock performance in terms of the amount of pressure he was putting on, the amount of time ApolloKage was on the back foot versus the amount of time MuteAce was. It feels like a pretty solid win for MuteAce despite only being a 1-stock.
But as you were talking about, my friend, none of these sets these 2 players have played against each other have ever really not delivered here too, so I do not expect ApolloKage to fold in any way, shape, or form.
100% not. A player very capable of adapting, but MuteAce rushing forward. A lot of damage. Snake has no problem with that. For the sticky I see on Peach.
Oh, yeah. Got the flak jacket on. Going to need to avoid this explosion. Shield's getting small already. The throw is going to transfer the C4 over somewhere. My goodness, your guess is as good as mine.
Right. As the stage phase comes through, tries to find a connection, can't get it done though. The verticality for MuteAce is not a plan that he's going to abandon anytime soon, unless ApolloKage finds a way to deal with Peach just kind of floating in that awkward range, that awkward 45-degree angle. MuteAce is going to lose it off the right side.
Oh, great timing on the get up there too. Wanted to, go with the grenade explosion, so MuteAce couldn't really do anything to cover.
The landing there on shield doesn't get it done. ApolloKage holding on to the stock yet again. MuteAce, I was going to say he needs to start finding these stocks earlier, but does he really? He's been able to find this win without finding the earliest stocks, but now way off stage. Avoids the Nikita. Good movement there. Solid mix-up. And just great, just baiting ApolloKage, said, I don't think you're going to time this right. And MuteAce was correct in that. Still hasn't been able to find his stock, though. The pressure on shield, ApolloKage stays patient and holds on to this first stock evermore.
Yeah, you can see it. These platform setup is a little bit different from small battlefields. Smaller platforms and a little further apart, so MuteAce isn't able to employ the same game plan, and ApolloKage's area denial is coming in so much stronger.
And a big thing I'm noticing here in this game is that ApolloKage is getting a lot more out of patience out of shield and on the ground as back air cleans it up there. Whenever ApolloKage sits in that shield, he tends to escape the situation. Where MuteAce has been sitting in that shield, ApolloKage really gets a hit or 2, one thing to tack on a little bit of extra damage. It hasn't been a safe spot for MuteAce to be in.
Oh my goodness, nice. And death from below. ApolloKage avoiding all of those float canceled up airs. Grenades going to clear out a small space to get back on the ground on this right side.
And those 2 grenades on platform as well, forcing MuteAce to kind of alleviate the pressure that he was about to put on. And when I roll this, it's doing the same. That could have been a big open up there.
Yeah, that was a really good float away when ApolloKage had pressed the button. No, just a day late and a dollar short on most of these openings. We would normally find these fastball floating airs and whatnot.
Ooh, back air off stage, not quite getting it done, as MuteAce has not found the last piece of that puzzle on a lot of these stocks. Really gets it all together. 99 pieces, and the 100th just cannot find the right spot. Roll behind works. ApolloKage threatening as always, but MuteAce is able to roll out of harm's way. Just approaching, turn up in hand, looking for any opening he could find. The up air was threatening there. And finally, ApolloKage finds feet and sets up onto that platform like he's done so successfully in these past 2 games. Pushes forward and sets up under platform number 2. MuteAce now stuck in the corner, as opposed to having center stage. Just backing up. ApolloKage has no problem moving from plat to plat right now, Script.
Floating air finally gave us a moment to breathe. Shield situation, betting it all on that down smash, but getting canceled out with the dash attack from ApolloKage.
MuteAce very comfortable with the timing on those grenades, but not on that dash attack, as ApolloKage catches the drift away landing and is able to take this to a 1-to-1 set. As we mentioned, these sets do not go strongly in either way ever. It's going to be close.
And as I expected, ApolloKage, the only Midwesterner left in this bracket too, so there's going to be a lot of cheers for our snake friend here.
Yeah, you are going to hear some noise for him. A lot of Midwesterners making some solid runs. Suspect making a great one to top 8. On and faltering a little bit early, but ApolloKage really putting the region on his back today.
And it's not something we haven't seen before. Not a lot recently, but again, this return to form is so exciting to watch. Swing game here, though, for Game 3. You win this one, you will get counter pick advantage going into that Game 5 if we do go that far, but we got to cross this bridge first.
Yeah, all tied up. This is a big one to take, as the adaptations for ApolloKage have been kicking. I see you bobbing your head to the music script.
My goodness, always great music picks between these two. I got to give it up. But back to small battlefield, which is where MuteAce was doing so well from the air. Yeah, that platform a little bit closer to the ledge. You have a much wider platform to work with, so you can bait out C4 explosions a little bit easier if it's not exactly in the middle of it.
Yeah, ApolloKage was really finding a lot of space under platforms and behind the platforms to work with on PS2, and now he's going to be stuck way closer to the corner whenever he does that. So MuteAce is going to look to make the most out of that, as this first stock has been dominant for him so far. 130%, maybe catching an air dodge there, but a C4, no follow-up quite yet. Downer beats out back air.
Oh, what a grab there. Forced out the air dodge and the landing on platform. ApolloKage could have fallen through, but not going to pick that option right in the 50-50.
MuteAce just narrowly missing a follow-up off that turnip as well. Could have been pretty big. And now just looking for a way to approach ApolloKage in the corner. Size of the platform be damned. It's still very difficult for MuteAce as he finds the forward air. Put the crown to your dome.
And that works too, because that was so unorthodox for how we've been seeing MuteAce play these 2 games we've had on small battlefield. Coming down from the float that you had to go for a raw forward air, sure, it will work. That's conditioning.
Yeah, we haven't seen that type of big aggression option from MuteAce very often, so he pulls it out at a great time here to take a clean stock. And now on this platform, again, ApolloKage's shield patience has really been effective for him so far.
C4 on that platform, got to worry about it. So MuteAce going to take to that mid-tilt stage.
Lands that platform, shields the up tilt. So MuteAce dances around a little bit. Finds a couple of turnips. And just playing very patient around these platforms, just kind of jumping from plat to plat, as you mentioned earlier. They really have been defining this game. ApolloKage catches a slip up and gets a great up tilt about it.
Downer though, oh my gosh, grenade in hand, Parasol almost taking us off of the top. So much damage too. MuteAce has been a lot more open to letting that option fly. There was a couple of sets where it's definitely sealed out big stock, so just another kit to the arsenal.
And a big stock here is really what MuteAce needs to kind of find a little bit of extra comfort. He has the lead, but he really has not found anything easily so far. It's been a crazy mix-up. It's been a really high percent long burn for all the stocks that he's taken. So to just get one off the board early on would be such a great feeling, as ApolloKage is really making him work for everything. The side B into the Nikita to try and cover. He's able to do it. 3rd time's the charm though.
Ooh, got grab on grenade there too with dash attack and went through ApolloKage. That is the best case scenario for that committing dash attack.
Both these players demonstrating such a high level of patience in these kill situations. MuteAce is able to get it done with the nair off the left side of the stage. MuteAce used to and still kind of is known as one of the more clutch players at those high percents. So I'm always happy to see that type of situation come out when he's on screen.
Always going to be the one to let the opponent make a mistake, and Peach is so good at capitalizing, but that was a really tough situation to be in. Getting grabbed and down thrown by Snake in that corner almost eliminates one of your options, and parrying Saturn. If you didn't think it was a confident gameplay from ApolloKage, you can not question it anymore.
The gumption on this man. He is not scared, but off stage, he might want to be. Trying to find an opening, still hasn't found one. Another parry. MuteAce says, whatever you can do, I can do better.
Oh,
not as much risk involved with his, of course.
That air dodge could have been caught, though. That was a scary choice on that platform. We are starting to bet it all, push the chips towards the middle of the table.
The way those forward smashes from ApolloKage just pull the air out of the room, everyone gasps and takes a breath whenever he flashes that RPG, but MuteAce is able to get a tomahawk grab. Trades percentage after the grenade connects, but he's rewarded with stage position in an advantageous spot, but the get-up attack is barely going to connect for ApolloKage. Last hit situation, MuteAce, what do you got for us?
Oh, dash attack really good. Went under the platform. That's where ApolloKage found it. Hold your breath here as up air takes MuteAce off of the top, and ApolloKage swings back.
Gets it done there. He goes up 2-1. We mentioned this is a big swing game, and in such great fashion there. To have a close game like that go in your favor is a great feeling. It's a great weight off your shoulders to get you moving into the rest of the set.
We have ourselves a great set here. MuteAce has been, it's been a very stage-heavy matchup, I feel like. ApolloKage getting one on what was, like, you know, so dominant of a win for MuteAce in that game one has got to feel really good, but going back to it.
Yeah, MuteAce liking the smaller stage to not let ApolloKage get those setups that he was finding on PS2 so effectively. And I do wonder if MuteAce is going to wind up banning PS2 should he take this game here. But that is something that we're going to have to wait to see. Turnip is going to connect, but no punish to boot. Gets off stage, the narrative breaks Cypher. ApolloKage tasked with a very difficult recovery. The grenade throws it out, not able to make it back. That
is so sick because ApolloKage in that second game was doing so much recovery with grenade, hesitation with your Nikita, and then coming back down. So grabbing with air dodge, that's beautiful. Yeah, it really disrupts his rhythm off stage like that. Makes it really tough for him to find a way back. No jump that deep off as MuteAce finds a connection. And with a massive lead here, it's only going to grow even bigger. A lot of damage getting tacked up. The back air keeps you off stage. That could have been a really quick one there for MuteAce. MuteAce holding the grab and waiting for the grenade to explode to extend the combo further off of that is insane. Exquisite. MuteAce is ready for it. His awareness is up there with the best of them. And again, that timing, the patience for both these players is nothing to scoff at. Down tilt after a spot dodge for MuteAce. That's a dot eye. That is a scary turnip to go against. ApolloKage able to thwart it for now. A lot of rolls coming in from ApolloKage. MuteAce definitely started to demand more from this stage. And ApolloKage not happy to take it over. Not happy to give it over. MuteAce just floating up there, very patient to avoid that setup, that ledge. Whoa, forward air is going to get it done off the top. Yeah, Peach, one of the more well-equipped characters to kind of wait out Snake's setups. You can just kind of float up there outside of his range. This little patience. Staring contest commences. ApolloKage is going to win it, though. Finds MuteAce off stage. Nikita not going to get it done. Again, great timing on the side of MuteAce. Has not been an issue of his. Down air into a back air. Do we chase further off stage? We don't. We will keep it going in the sky, though. Really good tech from ApolloKage. Dragged down on that platform. MuteAce is trying to get it finished in style. Yeah, nothing but weak hits there for MuteAce as he's not able to find the biggest punish, but a lot of damage gets put onto ApolloKage shortly thereafter as he catches the air dodge. It's been a habit of ApolloKage's that MuteAce finally catches it on that forward air. Is scary, though. Could have brought this game back into a reasonable comeback for ApolloKage, but we are still firmly within go next territory as MuteAce connects with that crown. And MuteAce answers back emphatically. We are going to a game 5. This has been, again, you said it, Finesse. Just what we wanted. These players all deliver whenever they play. They do it every time. Truly. You know, all 4 of these guys, but these 2 in this matchup, they play close sets. They really do. And they have given us yet another treat with a few close games and a game 5 here. That one being taken in more dramatic, more dominant fashion. Right. But I don't expect to see another big miscue like that from ApolloKage. They've both kind of gotten their early stock losses, awkward mistakes out of the way. The jitters are gone. We're going into game 5 with a fresh head and a solid game plan. I am dying to know what the stage is. Okay, PS2. Smaller platforms to deal with, as we were saying. C4 covers a lot more of that real estate, so taking the option much more offline for MuteAce to sit and float between platforms.
Yeah, ApolloKage has so much more room behind the platform to just set up and really work with as much space as he wants to get his setups off. But so far, he's not worried about setups. He's running in there. He's squabbling right now.
Great nair down. This might be the fastest percent we've seen added on both players from any of these games thus far.
Love a game 5 where both players just come out swinging.
Hey, throw the stat sheet out.
Right? Both guys want to set the pace. They're playing with their hearts right now. As items meet in the middle.
You really can't get items past either of these players, too. They're so proficient in their catching and their combo ability.
As muted, a slight miscue there. Connects onto a grenade. ApolloKage looking for any setup. Very patient there under. Finally is rewarded for his patience. C4 can't connect, but he does tack on some damage. Nair's going to send off stage. MuteAce has made a lot of money off that off-stage interactions. The forward air below the stage is going to get it done.
Really well placed there, too. Even if it was a little early, it would have broken Cypher and it would have sent Snake to his demise anyway, but finding the hit for the more stylish finish.
Ooh, just waits on it. The up tilt's going to get it done. ApolloKage finds one. The crowd lights up. They want to see their boy take this one.
Ooh, down airs. That's tough, but the drift away. MuteAce not able to close the gap well enough to find a further punish. ApolloKage getting back on stage for relatively free here.
And AK tracking Mute's options so well off that platform there. Wherever you go, ApolloKage finds a hitbox. Chasing back here, an aggressive option. Goes punished for ApolloKage there. As percents trade, we're just rocking mid-80s for both these players right now. Who's going to find that first opening? That's what it's all about right now.
It's crazy. They'll spend so much time away from each other, too, and then immediately burst at each other in and then hold shield.
And then the moment they're in, they scrap for quite a while as ApolloKage finds a very well-placed C4. MuteAce can't believe it. The Grimace comes through from him and a lot of damage to extend this lead from ApolloKage.
Ooh, Cypher just, Nikita just straight up in neutral there, too. Gonna catch MuteAce off guard. Great float over that C4, baiting out the explosion, getting it out of the middle of that stage. But watch out, it is on that right platform.
Wait a minute, good spot dodge, potentially extending the punish, as Snake with the lead is very tough to deal with. More damage gets racked up onto MuteAce with every second, every waking moment. You are getting hit by something. 60% now on the MuteAce. The deficit climbs more and more. He's got to take the stock as soon as he can.
Turn up in hand. We are playing much more reserved, giving a lot of respect in the corner to ApolloKage. And again, C4 now sitting in the middle of the stage, wants to deny the grounded game from MuteAce.
Wow, that grenade was terrifying. ApolloKage raining hellfire from above, but cannot find the stock as MuteAce pushes forward nonetheless. Can't find anything with the back air, gets it done off the side. Grenade with a bit of friendly fire there. MuteAce finds a bomb. Wait a minute, this is neck and neck.
We both got explosives.
Right away, finds an opening. Wait a minute, that was not the best time for bomb to show up though. ApolloKage was at 0. He wasn't going to find the kill with that. But regardless, a lot of damage gets tacked up. We got ourselves a relatively even game. MuteAce is looking to close this one out. He's brought it all the way back, Script.
That's crazy. Both of them able to find their explosives through this set.
Right?
Literally and figuratively. Oh my goodness, eating a lot of your own damage here though too. Got to get away from that. Nikita dancing through an absolute minefield. Here's MuteAce.
MuteAce just toe tapping around every option that ApolloKage has. The landmines on deck, barely able to avoid them consistently. Spot dodge, watch out. MuteAce gets the grab off stage. ApolloKage finds a way back. Hellfire from above yet again, and the forwarder gets it off the ledge. MuteAce, incredible placement, gets it done in Game 5 fashion over ApolloKage.
Oh my goodness. I am so happy we have replay set up for this tournament. There is so much I would like to look back at just that 5th game by itself. Whoa my goodness. But give it up, you guys. Incredible run from ApolloKage, doing so well. Best placing Midwest rep here. My goodness, what a showing, and a lot more to come from our friend.
ApolloKage standing up with his head high after an amazing run all the way up to this top 4. And just a hero of a set against MuteAce, as always. We're always in for one, but he let it get the last hit. MuteAce kind of hammering in that clutch reputation that he's developed. That was a crazy one early on. I almost forgot about that. He gets 2 ridiculously early stocks in that game 1.
I mean, yeah, the marathon we just went through, there's so many things you could highlight, so many grenade conversions. You found a lot of really good stuff off of grab in this first game. And again, I feel like MuteAce kept the same composure throughout the entire set. A lot of tracing with the aerials that ApolloKage was throwing out so many times, going super high, getting caught for it. But man, the explosives from ApolloKage, the real big booms that we saw for those stocks is what kept him in that game.
big booms indeed. And the most impressive thing about MuteAce's ability to take that for me was that after losing a pretty tough one, a 2-stock, I think the only 2-stock in that set, although I could be wrong. Oh no, MuteAce had a pretty dominant one here. But he was able to come back and win it on the second game on PS2 after a pretty rough one. So MuteAce able to find the adaptability and kind of mix up his game plan just enough.
That was one of those sets, too, where I thought as soon as ApolloKage had won on Small Battlefield, which seemed to be like home court for MuteAce, I thought that was going to be the thing. But MuteAce stepped into enemy territory and took the game, that final game on PS2.
Yeah, it was winning that last hit for ApolloKage was really what I thought was going to do it. It was like a really tense moment, and he was able to pry it away. But MuteAce on AK's counter pick here really got it done with the off-stage interactions. He was kind of struggling to make things happen on the stage and find those early stocks, but he really made it happen when it mattered most off the edges there.
I'm just like, I'm apprehensive. I cannot wait to see these last stock interactions here at this Game 5. My goodness.
I want to see this last one he gets here with that forward air at the ledge. Not sure if it was a two-frame or what that bomb was.
Did we take damage from this? We took a little bit. That was weird. It hit grenade, so the explosion wasn't as close. And
very well-placed grenade.